Welcome back, guys. Today's going to be a little bit of a storytelling kind of day. For a couple of reasons. One, because I want to tell this story. And two, because I'll be honest with you, I've been super busy. I don't have a ton of other content. So I think this will be interesting enough to post. So we will start. This all starts in 2019 or so, not too long ago. But, you know, getting back there. So for those of you who don't know, if you're ever driving I77 south coming out of Virginia into North Carolina, basically right when you cross the border, there's a really, really steep stretch. It's all like 6, 7, 8% grade, whatever it is. And it's windy. There's a couple of runaway truck ramps. And you probably go from like maybe 3,000, 4,000 feet elevation down to 1 or 2. Like, it's a pretty darn long drop. So for truckers, as you can imagine, you know, it can be rough on your brakes, or even like a pickup truck towing a trailer or whatever it is, like I am today. Kind of what made me think of this. But the other factor of this descent is it gets very foggy a lot of the times. Now, there's different famous ones, like Mount Eagle is always famous, especially back when it was US 41 for, you know, claiming a lot of truckers' lives. There's a couple famous grades in like Colorado, of course. There's a bunch of good ones in like Vermont and stuff like that. So depending on where you live, there are plenty of different places that people have, you know, horror stories about, you know, being nasty grades that have taken the lives of a lot of truckers and stuff before. So this one in particular day, it was very foggy. And this road is, you know, like I said, it's windy and it's 3-lane. So if there's a lot of traffic, it kind of gets pretty wild, right? You got all this fog. People are obviously going too fast. That's what people do. And, you know, all that sort of thing. So I'm towing the camper with my 05 Silverado 1500. So I got a, you know, pretty heavy load for what that truck is. So I always take it easy. I, you know, gear down, engine brake, make sure I stab and release the, you know, surface brakes. Just do the things and you're fine, right? The truck can handle it, no problem. Well, it was starting to get really foggy, and people around me are going 50 miles an hour, and we needed to be going like 30 miles an hour. That's how foggy it was. So I'm starting to back off, and there's this guy behind me who is just absolutely riding my tail, who is also towing a trailer. And I'm just like, you freaking dummy, dude. And so now I'm in the position where I'm like, okay, I have to not only give myself enough braking distance, but I have to give braking distance for the guy behind me, because if anything happens, he is just going to be in my trailer and crushing me between my own trailer and whatever vehicle's in front of me. And I ain't dying today. So I back way off, probably making this guy want to get even more on my bumper, but I'm like, I don't care. And sure enough, as I suspected, given how foggy it was, traffic comes to a standstill. So I have plenty of stopping distance. I'm more than ready. And this guy behind me is definitely not ready. So I start braking as quickly as I need to, but as slowly as I can in order to have him not run into the back of my trailer. And all I can see and hear out of my rearview mirror is trailer brakes locking up and a little bit of swerving action, nothing too crazy. He's starting to kind of try to go off on the shoulder, you know, that whole deal. And I'm just casually coming to a stop. And I really let off the brakes as much as I could and then just stabbed him at the very end, just trying to give this guy room so he didn't hit me. And luckily, he was able to kind of just keep it on the road, and he went off into the shoulder a little bit, but didn't quite hit me, which was good. And it just got me thinking, man. I was like, you know, and I'm not telling this story to try to sound like I'm some amazing driver or whatever. Like, whatever. It's not a huge deal, but it just, first of all, you got to drive for all the people around you, not just yourself. But the other thing is, like, it when you're towing something heavy, especially, the burden of responsibility to keep those around you safe is much greater than if you're just driving an empty vehicle, right? You're twice the weight, 3 times the weight of yourself empty, and up to freaking 5, 6, 7, 8 times the weight of like a normal passenger car. So it's a lot, and you don't need any fancy licensing to tow pretty heavy loads, right? I mean, you can tow 10, 15,000 pounds and easily, and just have a regular driver's license. So you got to think about these things and really learn what to do. And it's just not the time to be in a hurry when you're towing something. So I don't know if this video turned into a PSA on towing a little bit, but that really wasn't the entire point. The entire point is that life is precious, and I think people driving lately have forgotten that. I don't know. I feel like I've been seeing more and more accidents on the road. Just some like bigger accidents too. I mean, fender benders and stuff happen, but like I'm talking very totaled vehicle accidents where people are just, whether they're just not paying attention or they have, mechanical failure. I mean, I don't know what it is. I'm not saying it's everybody's just not paying attention, but man, you T-bone somebody at 60 miles an hour. It's like, that's a bad accident. And yeah, modern cars do a lot better job of protecting you, but it's not infallible. Like, slamming steel together at those speeds, people are inevitably going to die sometimes, and it's just not cool. I can only imagine getting that phone call that, or being the reason for a phone call, God forbid, that, a family member of yours has died because they were, in an accident like that. So anyway, something to consider. I also drive a lot of miles, so I'm probably seeing the worst of it, and in a way, and the area I live in has been growing a little bit, not nearly as much as like certain areas of the country, but there's been a bit of an uptick, I feel like, of just traffic volume and people living there and stuff. So that always is gonna cause some issues, right? So there's not necessarily some massive epidemic, but the data does show there are more accidents now than there was a handful of years ago, 10 years ago, whatever it exactly is. So there's definitely some truth to it, no matter what. Man, it's getting dark quick. But, yeah, we're cruising through beautiful... I think we're still in New York, but we're quickly approaching Vermont. I'm headed to a wedding. Got the camper in tow, like I had said. For anybody interested, we're getting 8.9, which is pretty good because we've gained a lot of elevation, and I actually was doing a lot of city towing on the first part of this route, and that's when you got a 7.3 liter engine moving a trailer. Drive around the city is never going to get you good mileage, so that is what it is. But anyway, yeah, I guess this actually did turn into a bit of a PSA video, more than anything else. But yeah, we'll cut it off there. Stay safe out there, people. Try to think of this the next time you're in a hurry, and we're all guilty of it. I've done it a million times. You're in a hurry and you think that whatever it is you have going on must be more important than what anybody else has going on. And let me tell you what, that is probably not the case. Unless you are rushing to a hospital or something of that sort, it probably can wait a little bit. So, food for thought. Anyway, guys, as always, thanks for watching. God bless America, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.